All right, welcome back, everybody. As Tea Time said, it is just going to be me here towards the end. There's a little bit of political chaos, something along those lines, going on in his home country. So he's kind of having to figure out what the hell's going on over there. But we're going to be over on Dust 2, and we're going to see some action between a team that we've already seen earlier on, and of course, Izako Boars as well. Valiance, unfortunately, going to lose the first man here, so it's been a full night of Counter-Strike for them. They'll be straight back into proceeding. 16-12 on Mirage against VP earlier on. We'll see what they've got here on Dust 2. Like I say, so far, already having lost a man, it is not the best of starts, but Esperanto is hidden in the pit. Could quite easily catch a few players off guard and has that information coming through as well, so the early rotations from the CT side, at least on towards the site, to try and hold things down. And here we go. This is the patience. Is Esperanto going to strike? Is he going to go for the knife? I think he is. Manages to take down the first. A clean little flash comes through, and he will manage to pick up even more. Brilliant stuff coming in from the CTs. They mow it all down. I thought Esperanto had got everybody there, but pretty much did all the damage, and just throwing that surprise factor in there as well. You know, the fact that he was in behind. Kind of making a good round go to an absolutely terrible round for Izako Boars, unfortunately. So they, without a bomb plant, will be straight into the eco. Just a few P250s. Not a great deal of hope for them here, but, you know, just too easy to overwhelm certain areas of the map, but not mid, it would seem. Hunter going to pick up 2, 3 coming in, and it's all going to be down to Nisik in this 1 versus 5. Oh, okay. Not quite sure what that is from Hunter. A little bit trigger happy, perhaps. I think he was looking to wallbang, but, you know, it just timing doesn't work out. But it's okay, because it doesn't do a great deal of damage. It's all right. We will eventually clean things up. So now we'll be going into that first gun round to see whether Izako Boars can fight back here and hopefully get an early round on the board. I don't know, it's definitely possible, because you look at that buy from Valiance here, and they have still 2 SMGs, you know, the Scout in play. Hunter with very little utility looking to get aggressive, goes down early. It's a cheeky round, economically speaking at least. The late cat boost coming through from the international mix. I would say European mix a little bit more technically correct, but nonetheless. Slowly but surely, just kind of edging their way forwards, trying to find something in on short, but not really much coming as Izako Boars. They get that early pick and they slow things way down. It is something, again, that maybe some of these teams need to work on. There is 2 minutes in the round, not just that 30 seconds of action. And they're playing the mind games. They're sending the feelers out there in the form of Patatek, but he's going to go down. It's Otto, meanwhile, at the back of Plat to get 3. Oh my goodness. The Scout, in the hands of an absolute god, it would seem, misses the 4th, but he's going to have another chance, and he will manage to get it. Man alive, that's all they needed on B, was the Scout of Otto to just rip the heads clean off. Every single shot, pretty much, was a headshot. Spicy stuff, spicy stuff. That's certainly not what you would expect. You maybe expect him to get, like, 1, right, and then he gets traded, but no. That box at the back of Plat is very, very pesky to move around. He plays the movement perfectly. You know, back, again, a few years ago, you'd see that spot because players could kind of spam crouch, but they've obviously changed that throughout the years so that it kind of deteriorates, diminishing returns, I suppose, on the crouch spam. And he knows that. He uses it once, then he moves, and then he moves again. It's just perfectly played with the Scout, and obviously that Scout is the perfect weapon to do that with because of your movement speed that you have available. Beautiful stuff. He's going to force Izako Boars now onto a pretty weak pistol buy. Just a few deagles to speak of. Csgo will get one onto Otto, I believe, over on B there. But immediately traded. Everybody else, unfortunately, not quite as lucky. Esperanto on the A1S. Looking crisp. As it certainly does when you land those headshots. It certainly does. Maybe, especially with the org, you know, now coming back into to mainstream Counter-Strike, that A1S has fallen even further down the pecking order, as it were. But there are some players here and there that like to use it. Scream being another one of them. Aggressive hit coming in from Izako Boars, though, here into round number 5. It's going to work out. Norot is able to pick up an early kill, but he's kind of cut off from the rest of his team. They opt to move away. He does even more damage. As this aggression across the map, just kind of goon squadding it up on the Izako Boars side. They will manage to pick up a fair few kills. Nexa just missing out on the opportunity to take down Nisik there. I think they're kind of deciding whether they actually want to go for this or not. They're so very far away. I don't think they are going to go for it. Nexa being on 8 HP. Yes, they have money, but just better to kind of play it safe at this point. Ooh, and maybe find a few exits. Esperanto looking to take down Nisik, who misses his shot, throws the smoke. Again, safe play. You know, these two teams are playing things very, very lightly. Not too overzealous, over aggressive on some of these peaks towards the end of the round. I know they started off aggressively on the Izako Boars side, but they don't just keep it going the whole time. You know, Nisik could easily have gone for a re-peak there or something like that, but he opts not to do so. We'll see here, though. This is, again, a test of how consistent they're going to be. It's another aggressive long hit, but this time they are ready. Valiance coming back in with flashes of their own. They've got 4 men here stacked up. Nexa to pick up 2, but there's another one to deal with. And unfortunately, the T's are coming out through a much tighter choke point. It's a lot harder to get the trade frags in from the long house. They will pay pretty much the ultimate price. They have to back away. And perhaps a bit too predictable, to be honest. I do quite like that return from Valiance. It makes sense, you know, to play players aggressive long early on, and then you can always rotate them away. So long as you've got, like, a player in at mid kind of watching things and making sure that there's no flanks coming in, no mid to B splits or anything, which you can't do as fast. They're a lot more telegraphed than a long hit would be. So they just play it kind of smart to start with, and obviously it works out. They pick up the kills. They don't have to drop back because there's no one there. They, in fact, go for the exact same play 2 rounds in a row on the Izako Boars side, and this time it does not work out as successfully. We'll see. Moving up short, Otto is holding it, though, and beautifully done. Just easy shots for him, as they were hoping that that angle would be neglected. It wasn't, and it'll be a 5th round for Valiance coming in. But we'll see here on the buy. I mean, it's not great from Izako Boars getting reset economically. Not broken, but, you know, in a scenario where they find themselves kind of having to buy because the economy is a bit all over the place, going to try and make it work. But Valiance, I think, given this opportunity here, it's going to be a very quick kind of takedown for them if they can cleanly win this one. That's the key caveat here. Hunter over on B, having to hold things down, and now kind of the only one to do so. Will manage to pick up almost all 3, but 2 will be good enough for him. Meanwhile, in middle, Tsek is not expected at all. It's all down to Nexa, one of the loudest players over on this Valiant side of things. But still, a 1 versus 2 with very little information to work with, going to be difficult for him. Up against 2 AWPs as well. Molotov to go on through, and the nade is nice enough, but it's a great shot. An easy shot for Nisik. And it will be a 2nd for Izako Boars. The aggression once again paying off. It does seem to be something that maybe Valiance are falling flat to kind of early on. is this wild aggression across the map. However, you know, again, it's one of those types of strategies that is not as consistent as cleanly winning a setup or an execute. As you can see, they're going to go for the aggression again here, but it's got 3 players waiting for it. I do like this response, though. They're aware of how Valiance are moving around their aggression, going to take down the lurker on the other side of the map. It's smart, it's aware. It's nice and well thought out, I suppose, to find that early pick. And again, they opt to slow things back down. So I think Izako Boars definitely have the tendency and the know-how to play rounds like this. It's just kind of, I think for me, they're one of the teams in MDL, at least, that do lack in firepower quite heavily. I've cast them a couple times now, and I honestly, off the top of my head, can't remember a name that was super, super strong without looking at raw data, you know, but I can look and I'm like, Nexa, Hunter, Otto, pretty damn good players. Either way, maybe jinxing it a bit. Patatech going to take down Otto very early on into this initial A hit. Esperanto and Matty, 1, 2, 3, just playing chicken. Nexa will manage to find one in from Goose, as that was a very unintended pun, I swear. Not trying to make bird jokes all the time here, but a 3 versus 2 nonetheless. Going into this retake, I think they are going to go for it because of the positioning of Letney. A little bit edgy on that kill, but he does manage to get it in the end. This Org as well now in at ramp is going to be so hard to deal with, but he's going to have to deal with it all on his lonesome. Once again, up against 2 AWPs, and they are not peeking him. The tap going to come in onto the bomb, but wallbang does land. He manages to find the first, and now another tap to come on through, but Norok not looking to go for the hold. Oh, he's running out of ammo here. He's just going to have to try and hold it. Surely goes for the kill. Has he got enough time to defuse? I think he might just be able to get away with this one. It's going to be very, very close, but Letney does get it. A 6th round comes through only just for Valiance there. Very, very close on the 1 versus 2 clutch. And that's kind of where your double up setup on the T side can certainly let you down. Well, a pause to be returned, as I will be on my own a few moments of silence where I have to just take a swig of water, you know, keep the old throat hydrated. But yeah, I think this is, again, it's just sort of the way that they've been playing these rounds. It's very, very hard to deal with. They find themselves in a situation now where they have 2 AWPs to try and hold down against an Org, which can move a lot faster and, you know, kind of play the headshot angles, be a lot harder to deal with. They do get that 1 wall bang, but not quite able to line it up a second time. And it kind of costs them, because with the AWP, it's very difficult to get aggressive. You have to take the peaks, and an Org or even an M4 can be ready for those and ready to take you down. Whereas if you had an AK, they could slowly walk forward, they could change where they're coming from. But the AWP, it's a lot harder to do that and be able to consistently hit your shots with it, because of obviously the slow movement that it has, and the 1 shot at a time capability. So having 2 of them in a situation like that is not really ideal. That's why we generally say as well, you know, an AWP on the CT side going into a retake is not really ideal, because you have to move around and very quickly react to someone that peeks into you a lot of the time. Or, you know, you can hold an angle, but then that's on the Ts. You're relying on them to get aggressive, which and make a silly peek, which they shouldn't really be doing. So it's sort of difficult. AWPs are difficult when it comes into the retake scenario. They're certainly an early round weapon, in my opinion. But we'll see here. This is not too bad of a result. I mean, the buy is not great from Izako Boars, but they're at least getting the bomb down and seemingly keeping things competitive. Unfortunately, I've not found a single kill. Going to get absolutely demolished there, and it looked, the way that both teams played that, it looked more like an eco round or a force buy round, to be honest. But, of course, Izako Boars had spent all of their money into that one. So, a little bit all over the place, to say the least. And now they will find themselves kind of on the back foot once again. 7-2, not a great deal of money to speak of. It's really not looking too good here, to be honest. So again, inconsistencies for teams like Izako Boars really do shine through. Very difficult indeed at the moment, it seems, for them to deal with this Valiance CT side. And I think we might just be seeing a crazy aggressive and crazy one-sided half from them. We'll see. Given a bit more time, they might get a read and pick up a few more rounds, but I don't think they're looking too confident at this point, and I think it's so far ahead that it doesn't really make too much of a difference. That is really not the best of starts for Nisik, but at the very least, there will be a CZ kill coming through from Matty, and that might just, again, allow them the bomb plant. Otto, though, has got other things to say. He will find one Hunter, the supportive player, alongside him to help out as well. We'll try and stem the bleeding here, as using a fair few players, actually. That nade, touchdown nade, of course, from Letney, and they do manage to clean it up in the end, but it did for a second, considering the buy that Izako Boars had. Look slightly dicey. But at the moment, not looking too bad. We will manage to get another buy. However, you know, they've had buys like this in the past. Something has to change. Hopefully this timeout that I would presume they had just taken is going to change things for them. Change things for the better, at least. Slowly creeping in towards middle here. They will swap each other out. The kill's not going to come through just yet. Matty, though, will get two. Very nicely done by him. Otto on the Molotov will find T-Sec, but it's kind of too little too late, to be honest. Matty taking this round into his own hands. I don't think they're going to go for this on the CT side due to the closeness of, you know, the damage done in the previous few rounds here. They don't have a crazy amount of money to just go for a hero play. Kind of need these two players to save, in all honesty. Nex a very little money. Hunter as well, very little to play with, so it's almost required for them at this point. Nex just hiding away, looking at the floor. For those of you that don't know, does make your model slightly smaller. And you can hide in places that maybe they were not expecting. There we go, Izako Boars will get their third Esperanto, though. Of course, chiming in at the end. Will manage to at least deal a bit more damage, and now they'll be able to drop some guns across, etc. Make things look a little bit more doable here. But again, it comes down to that question of consistency. Will they be able to keep this up or not? Nisik will manage to find an early frag, and that's a good sign for Izako Boars. And they're now looking to get super aggressive on towards A. No one in it long, though. This allows Esperanto the run-of-the-mill here in at the car. Doesn't matter that he's on low HP. Headshot probably going to need to be found. It will. It's Nisik again to chime in with a second. But him picking up kills has obviously evened up that man advantage, but the main thing is it's bought time for the rotations to now come through from the CTs, and some good damage being done as Hunter finds one immediately taken down, though. It's very, very back and forth. A flurry of frags over on this A site will result in the bomb going down in favour of Izako Boars. Letney, the nade coming in up high. It will manage to actually pick up Nisik despite being a bit of a floater. He might have been able to get away. Unfortunately, not quite fast enough. It's all on to Matty123. 68 HP. Not really ideal for him. No utility to speak of. The one thing that he does have, the bomb is so far ticked 10-second timer going to pop, and he's as yet to go down. Just playing the time. It doesn't matter. Nexa, no time at all, and he can't even escape. It will be a 4 for Izako Boars. Just going their way by the skin of their teeth, as they so often say. He will just manage to edge it out. Not quite as good as they would like, but all the same, at least it is something. Man, these buys are interesting, especially from Valiance. I think they think that the buy from the T side is going to be a lot weaker than it actually is, which is why they're going for this. I don't know. We'll see. Esperanto on the scout. Tags up 1. There's 4 more, or 3 more I should say, coming in from long, and he's going to have to deal with. Mag 7 holding close short. Might just get to see a bit of action in a second here, as Narok going to come round and gets his head cleanly clapped off. Meanwhile, the A defenders immediately on the site will be dealt with by the Ts, but look at the damage that's been done. This is certainly doable, as all 3 of the remaining CTs are in very close proximity to one another. Hunter, overkill on the headshot. Spots out Patatek. Nexa having to swap across to the USP, because that Mag 7 going to be useless at range. He's going to try and close the gap, though, as he gets aggressive. Patatek will get taken down. He's being hard baited by T-Sec in at car. He's just playing the long game. He will manage to find the first, peeks up to get a second, runs out of ammo, but I think will have won the round because of that time. The bomb ticking away. 10-second timer going to pop. There's no chance for Nexa. There's really good damage being done. Matty 1-2-3, the only one to survive. And yeah, I mean, money earned and damage done by the CTs. So it's not the end of the world, but Izako Boars doing a really good job of edging back into this and actually making things look a little bit more competitive in places. So at one point, like I say, it was going to be a pretty one-sided affair. They managed to maybe prove us all wrong a little bit here. Few pistols in play. Obviously, that saved FAMAS, but Valiance probably going to have to take another round on the chin. Great flash coming in, but the blind spray from Nisik is well read to take down Nexa, and there goes that FAMAS that was perhaps the only win condition the CTs had here, was that finding a few cheeky kills or something along those lines. Maybe a bit more, damage to be done by the Deagles here, but ultimately it should be another round going towards Izako Boars. Pretty one-sidedly. Always stay hydrated, folks. Your voice won't leave you in the middle of a round. Esperanto, though. Get his hands onto an AK, they know exactly where he is, and I feel like CT is probably the worst place for him to be. Or is it? Let me. Trying to play this crossfire. Unfortunately, not really working out. His teammate gets taken down. It looks like he too will get taken down, or will he? Almost a second. Not quite. Tiny bit of damage done. Can certainly feel good about themselves, but nothing crazy coming out from Valiance there. It will be the 6th round for Izako Boars, and now looking to, you know, as much as they possibly can, even things back up going into the second half. So there is certainly an argument to be made that this half turning out, like I said in the previous round, a lot better than they perhaps would have expected. Quite a key round here, I think, because this could give a pretty solid advantage. The Molotov a bit late from Hunter, but he will manage to find the kills themselves. Letney, I think, had collateraled his one kill there. Nexa looking to get aggressive, kind of opts not to, doesn't want to give any form of advantage away. Nexic up high. Let's take down Hunter, but it leaves him on 10 HP. Matty 1-2-3, meanwhile, in the smoke, but they were ready for it. They drop him. And now it is the 1 versus 3 for the 10 HP player. Not looking too good, if I'm being honest. And there you go, immediately taken down. Bit overkill on the headshot there, Esperanto, but that's okay. A 9th round comes through from Valiance. So they will secure a pretty comfortable lead. It's not crazy. It's not as big as it possibly could have been, but it is a nice lead for them going into the second half. And I mean, T-side does too. Could quite easily run away with this one. I think they have a lot more firepower to speak of and could just steamroll Izako Boars in a lot of these 1 versus 1 scenarios, if I'm honest. Obviously, we shall have to wait and see. You never know. Izako Boars could really have been working on their Dust 2 here. Well, a lot of utility being brought up by them is certainly something that is interesting to see. Not generally the norm, but you never know. Could work out. Set getting aggressive, only good for 1, however. But at least they will know exactly where all those T's seem to be coming from. For the most part, they've got Norot in at long. He's not going to spot anything as all 4 will be coming in from short. Otto, beautiful shot onto Matty. The smoke going down there as well means that Norot can't really do anything to deny the bomb plant or even find any kills. It's a 4 versus 3 man advantage. There's still a kit in play. There's still a smoke in play. There's still a flash in play, but I don't think it's going to be enough, honestly. Clean little headshot from Patasek. Second as well actually comes in, but at least he's cleanly traded. All onto Nisik, and eventually Otto deals with him. So, 10th round for Valiance. That pistol going their way once again, looking like a relatively good start here for them in this second half of Dust 2. Just a few pistols being bought up. Not really a great deal to write home about here for the CT side, as we would kind of expect. First couple kills coming through. I think all hope that Izako Boars had of stealing this one away has certainly burnt out, and Letney, of course, securing the facts. He picks up that final kill. Relatively easy stuff in the end. Again, as would be expected. A lot of flashes there, in towards long, and a lot of aggression coming in from Valiance. Again, it is being met, though, by the CT side, however, not quite as successful as their counterparts. Tsek would be lucky to get away, unfortunately he doesn't, so 4 versus 3 in the middle as well. Letney looking to be pesky and annoying. Looks pretty good so far for Valiance to take yet another round. The first kind of gun round in this second half as well. Matty playing up close and personal could be a bit of a difference maker, but there's not too many players near him at the moment. And there's a lot of time. Valiance is certainly in the camp of letting smokes dissipate before pushing through them, before being, you know, a bit unwise. And there you go. He does get one, but immediately dealt with. It's clean trades from Valiance so far is pretty much the order of the day. Another kill to come through from Esperanto. And there goes Patatek. So 12-6, Valiance, as I thought, looking really, really dominant early on here in this second half. And yeah, it's kind of scary, I think, for the CT side. Unless they can find something in this next gun round, I think it might just spell defeat for them. No one out here at the moment. In towards B will be the first pick. And in towards short will be the second. They are ready and waiting, it would seem, for the most part. Easy stuff coming through. And yeah, again, nothing crazy. They're doing really well in these anti-ecos on the Valiant side of things. not losing any players a lot of the time, but, you know, kind of damage control. Ultimately, if they lose one, it's quickly dealt with, quickly traded, or, you know, it's an isolated player that would hopefully communicate cleanly. But yeah, looking pretty good at the moment. But here we are. This is the key round, of course. See where things may end up or may not, as the case may be. You know, might not end up very much left of the game. Otto going to open up. Is a bitter pill to swallow as the aggression, again, in the face style that Valiance are pulling out here is just working perfectly. That's an AWP dropped as well, I think. So really not good for Izako Boars early on, lacking in utility, now in manpower. And therefore there are huge holes in the defense. Only the one man over a B draws a rotation from Matty, and this is kind of what they're banking on the Valiant side, keeping the mind games in full flow by the looks of things. And it really is a difficult turn of affairs at the moment for the CT side. Deep smoke, and in come 4 players off the back of a flashbang. Patatech not really available to help early on. He gets one, but traded in the smoke will be Matty. Are they going to be ready for that? That's the real question. I think they're kind of aware of the fact they are indeed, and there you go. The trade immediately comes in. So that one pick, time and time and time again, is seemingly all they need on the Valiant side. Tsek will find a nice frag onto Letney, though, and that does give them a bit of an in to this B bomb site, perhaps. Low HP on Otto. But again, not very much flushing utility in the form of, you know, nades and molotovs and things, just the one smoke, which can obviously easily be pushed at the right time. And the AWP as well, not really ideal. Down will go Otto, but he does good damage, brings it back into the 1 versus 1 now, but Tsek comes out on top. That's what they needed. Izako Boars the key round again. Seemingly when the pressure is on, teams do so very often step up to the plate. It's very, very costly for them, though, and look at the money over on Valiance. It might just kind of stem the inevitable, in all honesty, at the moment. Really not looking too good. 4 FAMASs in play, I think. 3, okay. I swear I saw a 4th. I guess I'm just seeing things going crazy. But nonetheless, crazy wallbang onto Patatech, I suppose, is a good way to look at things. Very good. Bit of early damage, nice opening frag. Could be what Valiant's looking for. It could be one of those, you know, blessing in disguise kind of rounds where, you know, things just don't work out in the long run for Izako Boars, even though they, you know, won that 1 round. It's like, oh, okay, now is our chance to get back into things, but they're not able to consistently keep it up. Can be pretty difficult to make things work. $50 seconds remaining. They have a bit of mid-control coming through here, but not a great deal to speak of. Nice early pick, though. That's kind of what they needed. Nisik gonna have to go huge spins around, but can't find Hunter in time. Matty will get one. Another almost coming through for Norot, but it's kind of the frags ultimately just squeezing their way towards Valiance, and that will be the 14th that they were looking for in the reset as well. Look at the money here for Izako Boars. I mean, he could eco and try and go for 8 in a row, but even then the buy is not going to be great for them. Only 1,900 to come in after this. Really not ideal. They are going to go for the safe play, though, ultimately. Like I say, I think that is certainly easier said than done at this point. Really not ideal at the moment. She'll have to maybe see what they can do in the next round, but like I say, ultimately, I think this should pretty much be it. If I am honest. Slowly but surely, making their way up long here. Valiance just sending the feelers out there, not sure if it's a buy or not. Otto will take down the first, but still, you know, could be unsure at this point. They're just playing it super, super safe at the moment, to say the least. Another kill going to come through, though. I think now they will start to move in towards that A site and try and clean things up. Easy stuff for them again. Looking really, really good in the anti-ecos for the most part on this T side. As, I mean, a lot of the scenarios have been, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, who knows? They might buy themselves a bit of room here on the Izako Boars side of things. But, again, as always, it is easier said than done. Smoke to go over the top. Flash as well to come through. Do like that flash. A little bit fancy, a little bit different. As they will... a bit aggressive in at long. They're trying to fight for control somewhere on the map, on that CT side of things. Okay. Hunter with the random spam through the smoke will actually do so much damage onto Patatech there. A little bit early ahead of that smoke, though, and he will take a lot himself. Left on 4 HP, so no kills coming through as yet. But a lot of damage being traded back and forth at the moment. Minute remaining thereabouts on that clock. Slowly moving towards B, waiting for someone to maybe get aggressive somewhere across the map. Nexa in at middle will react to take down Matty. That's the early pick that they needed. And might just spell the end here for Izako Boars. It's going to need an incredible individual play, perhaps, from Nisik over on this B-bomb side. As the smoke dissipates, he will get spotted out, as yet to be taken down. Up high, though, is Patatech. He will get one before being traded, but the rotations are in. Tasek will find 2. Nisik yet to fall. It's a 1 versus 3 for Nexa on 35 HP, and I don't think it's going to be doable. Has to find that bomb. Has to go for that bomb. We'll get 1. 2 more. Beautiful flashbang coming through from Nora, and he capitalizes on it himself. So it will be an 8th round for Izako Boars. Again, difficult to say at this point whether it is just buying time or whether it genuinely is a way for them to get back into this and maybe take us to overtime. But I kind of say that with a heavy heart, because I don't think they're going to be able to do it in the end. But at this point, just getting a few consolation rounds, looking a little bit better, working on some setups and things for later games. But Valiance, for me, one of the better teams in the MDL. And Izako Boars, not one of the weaker ones, but like I said, just kind of lacking in the firepower. They just need like a star player that they can insert into some of these setups that could really pop off. Because they do look good in places, set piece wise. It's just mechanically not perfect. At least against Valiance. At least against Valiance. We will manage to find a couple openers though, and Nexa taking down Norot, maybe getting a bit too over aggressive. Nexa to find another kill, a 3rd as well coming in as he just rips apart this A bomb site. He's certainly the machine that they were looking for. Another kill for him, not quite the ace, but a 2 versus 1 for Patatech on 10 HP. And that is exactly what I was talking about. Valiance have that individual prowess. They look so good. And they just have those individuals that can open up bomb sites all on their lonesome sometimes. And it's exactly what happened here. That one aggressive push from Norot ultimately costing Izako Boars the game, it would seem. We'll see. Patatech, 10 HP. Stranger things have happened, especially with this org in hand. But I think they are now going to know where he is coming from. It has to be very telegraphed. Sure, he's got a kit, but it's that HP that's the main issue. Molotov going to spread to him and burn him out. not the best way to end things there, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose. And yeah, 16-8 game going the way of Valiance, kind of the way that we expected it. Generally expect that to be a little bit more one-sided, especially on a map like Dust 2, where those individuals can really pop off. But still, there are flashes of hope and potential from the Polish side that, you know, like I say, maybe a few changes here or there, or maybe just working on DMs and things themselves, they could pull out some pretty good results. But it just seems that perhaps there's a bit too much focus on the team play from them in some places, and a lot of the time that kind of very structured style of play is going to get ripped apart by super strong individuals like that Valiant side. But I do believe that is going to be it for this evening, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's been a little bit of an interesting one. I've kind of been on my own for the beginning and the end, but I've enjoyed it. It's always good to watch the MDL because they are these up and coming breakthrough teams that look so promising in places. And yeah, it's super exciting. But like I say, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do be sure to tune in tomorrow around the same time for some more MDL.